What's up everybody, this is Danny, and today we're going to take a look at the Samsung Galaxy S8. Let's not waste any time and get straight into the unboxing so I can share with you my experience of the S8, and thank you to T-Mobile for sponsoring and making this video possible, putting this phone into my hands early so I can bring you guys this proper full review. First, let me show you what comes inside of the box. It's nice presentation as usual. It looks cleaner and more modern than last year's box. I have the black model here, but there will be two other colors at launch, the Orchid Gray and Arctic Silver. There is a larger 6.2-inch Galaxy S8 Plus, but the only difference in that model is that it has a larger battery at 3,500 milliamp hours, and it has that monster-sized 6.2-inch screen that is almost the same footprint as the iPhone 7 Plus. So if you want a larger screen, then you're going to want to go for that one. First, you get some paperwork and warranty information. There's a SIM card removal tool on the back, and my favorite thing about this year's included accessories is they finally made them in black, and they look way better in my opinion than the white accessories. You get the power brick, a micro USB to USB-C adapter, and a USB-C to USB connector, so you can use that for OTG and transferring content from your old Galaxy device to your new one. You also get a USB Type-C cord, and here's something different. You get a pair of headphones tuned by AKG, and the build on these are very nice with a braided cord, which is great for durability. Now, they do sound better than most of your standard included headphones, but they aren't very bass heavy, so you may want to tweak that bass with the built-in software in the settings. The biggest new feature with the Galaxy S8 is this new Infinity display. The S8 has a 5.8-inch Quad HD Plus display that will literally make you do a double take when you first see it. The front is literally all screen, it's almost bezel-less with a dual curved display. This entire phone is subtly curved, it's all wrapped up in Gorilla Glass 5, so it feels very nice when you're holding it. It has to be the most futuristic looking phone that I have seen to date, and I feel like this design actually belongs in 2017. You'll notice that the phone is taller than the previous S7 because it has a new and much larger 5.8-inch versus the 5.1-inch display with a new 2960 by 1440 resolution, and we saw something similar on the LG G6, so it looks like it's becoming a trend this year. And this is important because for multitasking, you get a perfect split screen, and Samsung has tied in some new software so you can pick certain parts of a window and have it floating there above what you're doing, and this is pretty cool. This new display makes content watching on here awesome as well, and if you're watching YouTube, you do have the option to fit the entire display so the video is more immersive, and some streaming services like Netflix will support this aspect ratio better, and this display is mobile HDR premium certified, so you'll be able to take advantage of HDR content from Netflix and Amazon Prime Video. The screen is bright, it's colorful, it's very sharp, and it's one of the best displays that I've yet to see, so if you're worried about the curves getting in the way of usage, I haven't had any issues with it. The palm or hand rejection works very well. The only downside of the multimedia experience is this single speaker on the bottom, and while it gets pretty loud, it sounds pretty tinny, and it's super easy to cover up with just a finger. Take a listen. It has a slightly larger battery at 3,500 milliamp hours, and the S8 isn't the only phone with this problem. Most single speaker phones are like this, so I hope to see a dual speaker setup of some sort on the next Samsung phone, but it's not a deal breaker. The S8 has everything that you would want in a high-end phone, the new latest and greatest Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 processor with 4 GB of RAM, so performance has been very consistent for me, gaming is silky smooth, and you even have different modes to get the best performance out of this phone right in the software. It is IP68 water resistant, so no need to worry about if this phone gets wet, thrown in a bath, or gets dropped in a pool. It has a micro SD card slot to add more storage on top of the 64 GB of internal storage. It also has a 3.5mm headphone jack, so I'm glad they kept that. USB Type-C port with Quick Charge 2.0, and also support for fast wireless charging and the LED notification light. This is also the first phone to ship with Bluetooth 5.0, so you can actually connect two Bluetooth audio devices at the same time, and I think this is a game changer, and I can confirm this works perfectly. Another feature worth noting is this iris scanner next to the front-facing camera. This was a feature that we've seen before from Samsung, but now it makes it onto the S8. It looks like that's what they want you to secure your phone with, because on the S7, there was a home button with the fingerprint scanner built in, so they moved that away from the bottom, and now the fingerprint scanner is on the back. But now there is a home button on the screen that gives you a cool vibration feedback when you click it like a physical button, so that's really cool. But the fingerprint scanner on the back of the phone next to the camera, this is something that I really had to get used to. If you are left-handed, it's not as bad, but if you're right-handed like myself, then you definitely have to watch out for smudging the camera while you're trying to locate this fingerprint scanner. This is definitely not my favorite position for the fingerprint scanner, but it is fast and accurate. The good thing is the iris scanner and facial recognition work very well, and it's really fast too, so you'll probably just end up using that instead. Let me know when you get yours, which one that you are using most. The S8 and S8 Plus both come with Android 7.0 on board with Samsung Experience 8.1 at launch, and the software does look a little different, and I like it. Even though you can add the app drawer back in the settings, by default the apps are accessed by the swipe gesture, which I actually don't mind, and the software is clean and, dare I say, beautiful, especially with this free material dark theme from the Samsung store. The big software feature that Samsung wants you to use is Bixby. Now, Bixby is an AI assistant that learns whatever you like over time and organizes your interests and reminders in a card-like interface. They even put a dedicated button on the left side to access it. It's even built into the camera app where it will scan, and whatever you're taking a look at, it will give you suggestions on more information or even shopping options. There will be a voice assistant as well, but that's not going to be ready at launch, so I will revisit this when it's ready, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be using this over a Google Assistant that's already built in. I know this is something very minor, and previous Samsung users will appreciate this. Now you can rearrange the on-screen navigation keys at the bottom. I couldn't stand the back button placement on older Galaxy devices. Thank you for doing this, Samsung. Thank you. Let's get to two of the most important topics, the camera and the battery life. Let's start with the camera. So the front-facing wide-angle camera gets a bump up to 8 megapixels with f1.7 aperture and smart autofocus, so selfie takers should be very happy about that. And you also get these fun Snapchat-like filters built in. The images are more natural with nicer colors, not the best I've seen, but it does do a better job than the new LG G6. The back camera is the same 12 megapixel resolution as last year's. We do have some software improvements with enhanced image processing for better pictures, but I'm surprised we didn't see a dual camera system, at least on one of the models, but maybe they're saving that until the next flagship. The sensor is slightly different. It is the Sony IMX333 sensor versus the IMX260 in the Galaxy S7. So I had to see what this camera could do, and I have to say, this could be the best camera on the market right now. The images are colorful, have fantastic dynamic range, and the image processing has definitely improved. The over-sharpening has definitely calmed down, even though it's still there. But the S8 consistently produced natural and pleasing images every time I used it. It's not a drastic improvement over last year's Galaxy S7, which was no slouch by any means, but that's a good thing because this is a camera that I can rely on daily and trust that it will give me a great image. The low light performance is also fantastic. The noise reduction seems to be improved as well, and these are some of the cleanest low light images that I have seen from a mobile phone, so I don't think you'll be disappointed with this camera. I've done a ton of camera comparisons with the G6 and the iPhone 7, so make sure you subscribe for those videos. Finally, let's get to the battery life. The S8 has a smaller 3000 milliamp hour battery, and that was a concern to me when it was announced, and the results are exactly what I expected. They're not great, but they're acceptable. Let me explain. I tested this phone under performance mode, which means everything is on full blast, the resolution of the display is on Quad HD, and I'm getting full speed from the new processor. Under that mode, I was getting about 4 to 4.5 hours of screen on time, and that's pretty average in today's flagships, about the same battery life that I get on the iPhone 7, if not better. I did change the resolution to 1080p for a few days to see if I could improve battery life dramatically, and it didn't. I was getting about 30 minutes to 45 minutes more of screen on time per day, so that's not really what I expected. If you're looking for killer battery life, it's not here, but I am a heavy power user though, so for most normal users, you could probably make it through a full day. So what do you guys think of the Samsung Galaxy S8? It's not perfect, but I think we're getting close. This is for sure Samsung's best effort yet, and the design of the phone to me is in another league. It's a beautiful phone with an incredible display, consistent and capable camera, speedy performance, all in this slim and rounded water-resistant package. Once they can figure out a better speaker system, better fingerprint scanner placement, and better battery life, Samsung, you could be on the way to making a perfect smartphone. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, guys, and stay tuned for a lot more S8 coverage, and I'll see you in the next one.